Hey guys, it's Kelly. I got page number 17 done for my mixed media mini art journal series. Finally, it's magical and it's using some magical stamps from Designs by Rin, that hummingbird. Oh, I love it. A little darker than I would have liked, but I made it work. So I started out with 140-pound watercolor paper and my watercolor crayons. And I just taped it down to a clipboard, acrylic clipboard that I had, and just started with a really simple background. So I sped up a lot of parts in this because there's a lot of coloring in it. So hopefully you guys don't get dizzy from it going so fast. But I'm just laying down all kinds of different colors, starting with a ground type base and then moving up to the sky. And I'll have all the links below where you guys can see all the gorgeous stamps. Oh, she spoils me. I just love them. So, but anyway, where was I? So I just slapped some color down and got a watercolor brush and just kind of smeared it around. I didn't care about how perfect or how blended the colors were because I knew I was going to put some tissue paper over. It's always my go-to. I just like that. It just works for me. So, but this one I put a little bit too much of the white watercolor on there. I was afraid that my sky was going to get a little bit too dark, and then it wound up being too light. And the way that the crayons left those little marks in the sky, I actually kind of liked that. A lot of artists are probably just, are you crazy? You're not supposed to see your lines, but I liked it. And I knew it was going to be covered over with tissue paper and all kinds of other stuff. So I just wanted some subtle background colors. So I didn't mind the lines. I kind of like it. But to each his own. So, yeah, just using some water and just dabbed it off with a paper towel. And there are the stamps. Ugh! They are so gorgeous. And that's the new sheet that will be available soon. I don't think it's available just yet. But I was just pointing to the one that I chose to use. So I got my tissue paper ready. Sorry, my lighting is horrible in this one. I apologize for that, guys. But I stamped it one time and it didn't work out, so this is the second go of it. So those are the water droplets, and then there is that gorgeous stamp. I love it. Oh, I just love it. That one is called Flying Hummingbird 2, and I'll have the link to it. And I'll have the link to her store too. So I wanted the hummingbird. When I saw that one, I was like, ooh, it's drinking something. So I immediately thought of having it sip up the little water droplets. That's also from her stamp collection, for those that don't know. So there I am, just laying out what I've stamped on the tissue paper to see if it'll work. Then I grab my Mod Podge, and of course I'm doing all of this right over my blue tape. Now I realized it, and I just didn't care. I just went with it. I was like, well, when it dries, I'll just cut it off, and that's what I do. So normally you'd want to take this off and then put your Mod Podge on, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. So in my image, my tissue paper got a little wrinkly this time, but I just think that just adds more to it, just adds some character. I didn't want it to mess up my image though, because I love that. Oh, I love all the images that she does, but it still worked out just fine. So now that I'm using Mod Podge to put it over my watercolor paper, once that dries, that is going to make it non-porous. So I'll show you guys here. I cut it, and then I'm going to add some clear gesso to it to make it porous again, so it'll take color. So it dried, and I just peeled it off carefully, and I just wound up cutting it, which worked out just fine. So there's my clear gesso. It's a little bit more muted, my background, than I liked, and I'll fix that later. So that is the clear gesso. I'm just using a brush and putting that over every little square inch of that watercolor paper, and then I let that dry. And then initially, here's my thought. Now, those are my twinkling H2Os, and they have that really pretty kind of iridescent glow to them. And I wanted to use that on the hummingbird because they have like that iridescent little shine to them in certain parts of them. So I had colored one earlier and it worked out a little differently, but it didn't work out for this one. Now you can see through the twinkling H2Os. They're not opaque at all. So I thought, well, I kind of want this a little bit more vibrant. So, you know, I always go to my Inktense pencils. So I decided that I was going to color it in with my Inktense pencils with the colors that I wanted, and lay that color down, and then try the twinkling H2Os over that to get that shimmer that you see on hummingbirds. And it didn't work out really well. It kind of dulled it up. So I sped this up really fast for you guys because it's just some coloring, and I'm putting, you know, different shades of blue. I only have a set of 12, so I don't have a whole lot of options for different shades of the colors, but we still make it work. So I just color it in, and then I go for it. Around his head I put some yellow, and then a little bit of bark brown on his beak. Then I use my really, really fine detailed brush for his beak. Made a little boo-boo, but oh well. It's going in my mini art journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be fun and enjoy, and I loved doing this. I'll get a little frustrated because the hummingbird turned out a little bit too dark, but I fixed it in the end. So I'm just adding some water just to spread my Inktense pencils, just to color them. I mean, spread the colors. And then I went with a little bit bigger brush because a little bit bigger areas. So, and I love those pencils, guys. They're just the best. So vibrant and beautiful. So, and it was getting a little bit too dark, so I blotted it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to I think it's been like a month since I've had time to do a mixed media thing, but I knew these were coming, so I was waiting. I'm sorry. I was so excited to play with these stamps. So I cut some of the coloring out and sped it up real quick for you. So you can speed this up if you want, even faster, but there's something to be said for people who are new to this to kind of see how it flows and how you get that look. I'm doing my lighter color first when I'm blending my colors, and then I clean my brush, and then I go to my darker color, and then I kind of pull them together, and then I try to leave a reflection on the bend of the the bend of the wing, and by the time I was done I kind of lost that effect, but if you could see where his wing is bending, it's got like that white, the white is showing through. Really wish I could have kept that in the end, but it just wound up not working out. But just got a little too dark. It's not quite there yet, but the more I messed with it, it was, as soon as I added the twinkling H2Os, it wasn't working. It wasn't getting the effect that I really, really wanted. And that blue right there made it kind of dark, but I still could have gone with it. I still could have made that work, but a little too dark. But now I'll know for next time. So when I was trying to keep the darker parts of the feathers with the darker color, they all kind of mixed in. There's a little portion of the body that I added some red to there, so I was just making sure those colors were mixed in. And then the tummy is orange. And the more I colored it, the more I lost the details of the stamp in the feathers, and they really disappeared when I added the twinkling H2Os, but we'll work it out. So the still pictures show some really good vibrant colors, and it really is vibrant, but this video is so dull. Okay, so I left this in here so you guys could see what happens. So I love my twinkling H2Os. It worked, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to over this. It did give it a little bit of a shimmer, but it made it too dark. And I just wasn't happy with the outcome. And I did the orange, and then I did the red, The red wasn't so bad, but it still just kind of hit a lot of the details that I really liked. It got me the shimmer that Twinkling H2O's gets you, but it was too much. I think it was just one step too much to try to get the that shimmer effect. So when I wound up mixing like a purple and a blue to get a little bit the color that I was wanting. And the more I tried to lighten it up with that, the worse it got. Definitely not ruined. But it just made it a little dull, and that was definitely not what I was looking for. So, and if the lighting was a little bit different, you guys could see the shimmer that I did get, but it's not the right kind. So, and I'm just, on the side there, I'm just mixing my colors to get the right blue that I wanted. And right there is where I kind of lose that white reflection mark on the wing, and I kind of stunk. And then here's where I try and get more of the shimmer. So I got an embossing pen in my Perfect Pearls, that's the color. And I did this on one that I colored earlier and it worked nicely, but there was just too much already done to this, and it just didn't work out how I wanted it to. But I wanted to show you guys this as an option. You can use an embossing pen and just add these little Perfect Pearl shimmers wherever you'd like. On this instance, it didn't work like what I wanted, but on the one that I colored earlier, it did. I just thought I'd leave this in there just so you guys could see that that was another thing that you could do when you have some detailed work. You can use your embossing pen and powder. It'll grab that powder and make it stay put. You know what I did? I had to get a new brush because I was so used to putting my brush in water. I put my Perfect Pearls brush in water. It's kind of funny. So yeah, see, that didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't give me the look that I wanted. So, but in the end, I put Stickles on it, and that definitely fixed it for me. So when in doubt, use Stickles. Stickle the heck out of that sucker. I was still trying. I don't know why I was still trying, but I don't know. I think it was because it worked on an earlier one that I hadn't colored so much underneath, but so in a different scenario, that technique might work out well for you guys, and that's something I've never done before, so I'd share that. Even though it didn't work here, it could work in all kinds of different applications. So I grabbed my white Jelly Roll pen and I just added some reflection marks here and there. There was so much done to this that my pen wasn't really doing well on the bird. Tried to add some like little lines here and there. It worked well down on the dewdrops. So what I did was I grabbed my Bark Brown pencil and I decided that I needed just a little bit of shadow around the hummingbird. So I just had water on my non-stick craft sheet and took some of the pigment straight from the pencil and then dulled it down just so it would kind of be muted and give me some shading. And it gave me some shading, but it just made it feel even darker. And that really wasn't the effect. I wanted some really nice bright colors. But I wasn't getting it first, but we fix it. But that's another way to get your shadows, your shading done around your images. If you haven't done that. And the eye is really, really dark too. But it's kind of a darker stamp too, so I mean the eye is supposed to be dark like that, but I add a little bit of red around the eye, and then it just needed some more. So I decided that I was going to use my leafy branch. I love that stamp, so versatile. Just need a little something going on, more interest. I knew I was going to add something else, I wasn't quite sure, and then I went to my old faithful, my leafy branch. And I colored it in. I must have cut out a spot. My sky wasn't quite blue enough, so I added a little bit of the, oh, what did I use? Oh, I used my gelatos, blue and green, and just smeared them in. Just to get some more blue, because it was a little too light. So in here, I just add one stripe of the green, the light green, and then just barely touch it with the water. And the stripe down the middle of each leaf kind of makes the natural stripe that happens, the vein down the leaf. It'll work nice, super, super easy. And here I am grabbing my black Inktense pencil, and I am highlighting the black parts of the stamp that got muted by the perfect pearls. So I'm just adding that detail in, and then the detail of the leaves. I keep calling the feathers leaves. I don't know why I keep doing that. Just adding those back in there, and just I'm not adding anything to the design. I'm just re-highlighting what was already there that became really hard to see. And just taking it, a little bit of water, taking it straight from the pencil because I needed it nice and dark. So I got some of the details back, and I made sure it was all nice and dry. And then I used my Tim Holtz Ideology stickers and found the word magical and inked it on the outsides and just stuck it right down. Kept my sentiment very, very simple. And then it's going in my mixed media book. I just ran through all the pages super quick. And first, I painted that page with black on the outside. And then talk about being too dark. So I actually just glued a piece of white paper down and then glued my watercolor on top of there. And I didn't like it. It was still too dark, and when in doubt, stickle the heck out of that bad boy, so I did. And the stickles definitely brighten him up. So I used yellow, and then I used like a mandarin orange, I think it was, on the tummy. And then I used Stardust. But I'm using that yellow for the head, because it needed to be a little bit brighter than what it was. And the blue was bright enough. I didn't need to use blue stickles. I just needed to brighten it up. And Stardust stickles are the best. So it really brightened it and lightened it up. Still a little bit too dark. I wish it was a little lighter. But those are the shades that I had, and that's what I turned up with. So, but I still like it. I hope you guys do too. So there it goes. Lighten it up quite nicely, didn't it? I love this page. I have tons more of these gorgeous hummingbirds, and I'm going to play, and you'll probably see quite a few pages as long as time allows. Over the next few days. So there it is. Just put it on the wing tips, not the entire wing, just the wing tips. Hope you guys like it. Hope you're inspired to make something beautiful. And don't forget to check out the links for all those cool stamps. And thanks so much for watching. There will be a whole lot more to come. Don't forget to hit the like and give me a comment and share and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys.